Quick little announcement before today's video. We are finally ready to announce our next custom sneaker contest. This one is going to be based around a floral theme. All submissions will be due Friday, July 31st, so we have just about 6 weeks to send in your submission. Similar to some of our other contests, we are going to narrow it down to a final 4, and then those 4 will be featured on a future episode of Reviewing Your Customs. You guys will then vote on the winner, and the grand prize will be a $350 gift card to angelusdirect.com. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to episode number 7 of Reviewing Your Customs, a series where we break down other people's custom sneakers. We have 4 absolutely incredible pairs to share with you guys today, so let's go ahead and get things started. So first up, we have a pair from ODOT Worthen. Alright, we got some doodles on the box. Thanks, bro, for reviewing my customs. ODOT Worthen, 100% free-handed. El Barto, don't have a cow. So we got some cool stuff here, and then obviously the huge Bart character on top of the whole box. Oh my goodness, dang. Check out these colors. Wow. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. This is awesome. This is a huge shoe too. What size is this? Size 13 Air Force highs. Wow, absolutely incredible. So ODOT Worthen is one of those artists who absolutely has a signature style. You can throw him any theme and he is gonna do his own thing with them. This is a pair of, this is a Simpsons mashup with the anime Akira, so it's from a comic called Bartkira. And done obviously in his own style too, and boy oh boy, there is a lot to really enjoy here. I mean, the first thing is just that the colors absolutely pop. Obviously, you know, when you're dealing with the Simpsons, you have these characters with the yellow skin, and then we have these neon pink backgrounds. Wow, there is some serious color work going on here. Okay, so right away with a lot of the artwork, we have it done in a style that is commonly referred to as cell shading around a lot of the details. So if we take a look at the character Bart, for example, you'll see we have the main color yellow, but then near the edges or the outlines, we'll have a darker shade of yellow, a little bit closer to orange, that essentially forms almost another outline. And then we have the clean black line work around everything else. And so one thing that you're always kind of trying to pay attention to and taking notice of when you're doing something like this and you have black line work everywhere is how consistent is all of that, all of your line weights. And that's not easy to do when you're working across all of these different panels and you have all of these different images and whatnot. And let me tell you, the line weights are absolutely consistent throughout this entire pair. So we have our Milhouse character on the outside of the left shoe, we have Homer on the inside of the right shoe, and then the Bart character on the outside of the right shoe, along with a nuclear sign on the inside of the left shoe. Other than that, this is just kind of a comic battle scene, so there's a lot of different rocky textures and guns and just battle scene type things throughout. I can't lie and say I'm familiar with the comic at all, but obviously this shoe does a really good job of portraying all of the madness that goes on within this comic, so great work here. Another thing that I just absolutely want to commend here is we're working with some pretty tough colors, such as the yellows, these neon pinks, neon greens. Not easy colors to necessarily saturate and really pack in, but they are really done well here. All of these colors are really packed in. Everything is super saturated, and that's why these things are just so incredibly bold and loud. I mean, you wear something like this and nobody is gonna miss you from a mile away, that's for sure. Also, when you're working with a classic base shoe like this, such as a pair of Air Force highs, I absolutely love that you kept the midsole completely white and the rest of the guts of the shoe. So we have the tongue, sock liner, and the laces completely whited out. All of that stayed factory, and you just totally did your thing on the rest of the upper. This Air Force high was the perfect base shoe for you to be able to do something like this, where the characters' faces take up the entire sides of the shoe. So this is just using your base shoe to your advantage for sure. This is definitely one of those pairs where the more I look at them, the more I really enjoy them. I absolutely love this oversized artwork, specifically with this Bart character. You can see him holding the gun with this nuclear wasteland type scene in the background. And again, there is just really a lot to enjoy. The more you look at it, the more you can really start to visualize scenes from this comic. and you absolutely nailed all of these details here. If we take a look at some of these edges where all of the different colors meet and whatnot, you really went and made sure that you made sure every single little lip matches the color that it has, you know, on the other panels and whatnot. And since you use the entire upper for this oversized artwork, you're going to have different scenes and different elements stretching across different panels. So to actually go back and make sure that every lip and every edge has the perfect color, that is an extremely high level of attention to detail that I can absolutely appreciate. So overall here, from the colors to the saturation to the cleanliness, the line work, the line weights, the consistency throughout, these are just an absolute master class in how to do your own artistic style and, you know, kind of blend in a separate theme. So absolutely beautiful work here. Great job, buddy. Next up, we have a returnee to reviewing your customs. All the way back from episode 2, we have Kong Customs. All right, packed in nice and tight. Looks like we're gonna have a pair of Jordan 1s. Oh man, the notes are back. Dear DeJesus Customs, thank you so much for taking the time to review my customs. I wanted to recreate the beautiful textures of the natural world with these, as well as bring awareness to endangered animals. All of this is entirely hand painted without any stencils. I know last time I had issues with shine that made the rhino skin look unrealistic, but with these, the shine is intentional. I know you prefer a matte look, but I prefer the shine. I think it adds to the luxurious feel. Thank you again for this and all you do for the community. Commence the critique, Kong. Look at this, added some stickers in this time too. Pretty cool stuff. And look at this. Look at this cover. This is dope. Oh man. Dude. Let me tell you guys something. Extra laces too. Look at the bags. This is crazy. This is crazy. And Kong Customs, 16 years old. 16 years old, man, the future is bright for the custom sneaker world, guys. We are in good hands. So the first thing that I want to do with these is just give a quick little rundown of everything that I'm initially seeing. So we have a Jordan 1 Bloodline base. Great base shoe because you have all of that height of a classic Jordan 1 that you don't get with the mid sometimes. So starting off with our left shoe here, we have some orange feathers, which are going to be next to crocodile scales, and then above that we have fish scales. Moving more towards the front of the shoe, we have some coral on this eyelet panel here, along with leopard fur that's going to wrap around our toe box, and then zebra print on the toe box of our left shoe, along with the Kong Customs logo as a little dupre here. So a nice little touch. Now moving on to our right shoe, again on both of these we actually have the swooshes removed. So behind where the swoosh would be on the right shoe, we have blue feathers. Above that we have octopus scales, and then above that we have zebra print. Now as we move towards the front of the shoe, we have the tiger print on this eyelet panel, and then we have lizard scales, and on the toe box of the right shoe here, we have snow leopard print. Now again, all of this is hand painted, absolutely no stencils, so some incredible brushwork going on here. Another thing that I really enjoy here is just using the base shoe to your advantage again. So this Jordan 1 Bloodline, we have some black panels on this little back heel panel here, along with this eyelet panel. You got to keep those black. We have that red sole, and then around each of the panels, there's kind of an additional little red piping that came with the Jordan 1 Bloodline. I love how you use that to your advantage here with the red laces, and it really fit well for this theme, keeping some of those red and black elements. So now, the first time that Kong Customs was on Reviewing Your Customs, we caught a little bit of flack for pointing out that I thought he should have used a little bit of duller in his rhino skin pair. It looks like you probably used some type of glossy finisher that gives these a little bit of a shiny look. So, however, now this time around, adding a little bit more of a gloss feel to these really did add another luxurious type look to these. All of these panels slightly glossed up. It's not overdone. It's not anywhere near like a patent leather type feel or anything, but it really does help sell some of these textures. So I love that you did it here. So one thing that I always really like to do for a pair like this is try to put myself in the mind of the artist who created them. when he was initially blocking all of these elements out. So if you just said to yourself, here's the maybe 10 or so different animal textures that I want to incorporate onto a shoe, how would I even go about placing them? And I sort of think that nothing is ever unintentional with a really talented artist like Kong. So here on our left shoe, we have the orange feathers, which are going to be surrounded by blue elements such as the crocodile scale, and then the coral here, which then has some of that leopard fur next to it. So again, orange and blue being complementary colors, you're really going to make them pop up against each other. And then on the other shoe, we have the exact opposite. So here on the left shoe, we had blue, orange, essentially. Now here on our right shoe, we have the octopus scales, which is next to the blue feathers, which is next to the tiger print, which is then next to the lizard scale. So on this shoe, we have the orange, blue, orange, blue. So it's just kind of the opposite. So that's one thing that I absolutely do think was intentional, and it's just great placement of all of these different elements. So then for the toe boxes of both shoes, you kept it black and white, where we have the snow leopard print on the right shoe, and then the zebra print on the left shoe, and then moving into the upper ankle areas of both shoes, we have, again, the fish scales on the left shoe and then the zebra print on the right shoe. So just as far as how you placed out all of these elements, it is absolutely really well thought out. If I had to pick one of these many different animal texture patterns that I really want to point out, I absolutely love how these octopus scales turned out, especially with that high gloss. It just really has this wet and slimy type look. Any of these textures, you really feel like you could touch them, but the high gloss just plays so well into this octopus here. And again, being that these are done with absolutely no stencils, you really get to capture that feel of all of the brushwork and essentially feel every stroke within this leopard pattern. Leopard pattern could essentially be done with two colors, beige and black, to just sell cheetah print. But when you have all of these different colors, all of these different brush strokes, it's just a work of beauty when you get to see this leopard print up close. So just phenomenal work on selling all of these different textures throughout the shoe. These are really a work of art, and I'm already sad that I'm gonna have to send them back because this is a pair that I would absolutely love to keep. So great job, buddy. Like I said, the future is bright for you. Next up, we have a pair from Customs by G. Alright, we got our box bubble wrapped. Let's see. Cool, so we got something way different than the norm. We have a pair of sneakers from Ash here. Okay, we got the Customs by G sticker, business cards, great stuff. Looks like we got another note for these. Let's go ahead and see. Hey Dylan, thank you so much for reviewing my customs. You have been such an inspiration to me, and I would love to hear your input. I absolutely love shoes and have a passion for art. Putting the two together has become my primary focus, and I'm hoping to grow my business. I wanted to create something different with this pair. I love platform sneakers, and I thought the jewel theme would work well on them. I prefer to paint in a more realistic style and really had fun with these. Thanks again, Gina. Alright, I am excited to see these. Oh, this is crazy. These are dope. What an absolutely unique pair to have in front of us. I absolutely love that we have something different than your typical Jordans, Air Forces. Here we have a pair of platform sneakers, and these are crazy clean. So a quick little rundown for these. We have all of our jewel and diamond work running on the medial panels of the shoe. Directly behind that, we have a gold link chain. That gold link chain is then featured on the inside medial panel of both shoes. And then for our toe boxes and back heel panel, we have this really clean python print. And to do this python print without a stencil and just doing that by hand with a brush, absolutely incredible. And it's so clean, especially looking at this top view where we have the python just on the toe boxes along with these black waxy laces, the gold little aglets. Love how these came out. But what really steals the show on this shoe is going to be all of that realism that's packed into all of the diamond and jewel work on these medial panels. All of the depth and contrast, the shadows, the highlights that's packed into all of these jewels, you really do achieve that 3D look with them. It is absolutely incredible in person. And what's really cool is it also really sells that certain jewels are further ahead than the others. So although we're essentially looking at a 2D flat image being the side medial panel, you really achieve some serious depth here. Then on the insides of the shoes, I love that you have the gold link chain just interweaving in and out behind the midsole. It goes up behind through our eyelet panels towards the front of the shoes. Love how that turned out. Rather than keeping it all white, still finding a way to throw your own thing on the insides of the shoes. My favorite part of these though just absolutely has to be this little highlight that's added near where some of the edges meet within the diamonds. It just really sells this shine look to each of them, and it is just absolutely awesome. Again, just taking a look at all of these beautiful blends of light to dark within each of the diamonds, and then taking a look at all of those individual python scales. Again, just all of that blending. This is just an incredible way to achieve some beautiful realism when it comes to trying to paint that onto shoes, which is not easy to do blends as good as these, that's for sure. So overall as a whole, when it comes to blending, realism, some of the best work that I've ever seen in person. So an absolutely incredible job, Gina. Great work. All right, and our final pair of the day is going to be from Just Wynne Customs. And let me tell you guys, I am excited to see these. All right, now this is a pair that I, along with probably you guys, saw all over Instagram, and I cannot wait to see them in person. Oh my goodness, oh man. This ain't right, man, this ain't right. Oh, these are just, man, incredible. Man. A million times better in person. I mean, they look phenomenal on Instagram. These were everywhere on Instagram, of course, but in person, just untouchable. Untouchable. How am I going to talk about these for 4 minutes? They're just bad. Oh my god. So here we have a signature pair from our buddy Justin of his bandana Air Force One. So taking a look at the left shoe, we have the black bandana print on the outside. We have the blue bandana print on the inside. Moving on to our right shoe, we have the red bandana print on the outside, and then the camo print bandana on the inside. And these are just an absolute work of art. Removing the swooshes and then just, you know, putting your own spin on the Nike swoosh, doing the bandana print with this realism, this 3D look that makes it look like the swoosh is raised again, but it's not because the swoosh is removed and it's painted on a flat surface. These are just absolutely incredible. I just cannot get over how realistic this looks. I mean, it looks great in the pictures, but damn, does it look like I could just touch it and unravel the bandana on these in person. This is just incredible work, my man. I mean, just take a look at all of these little wrinkles that were added into the print. I mean, it really does look like you would just run your finger right along this and feel all of these different levels of the bandana. My goodness, take a bow, Justin. Like I said, it really looks like the swoosh is essentially raised due to this shadow that's underneath, but this isn't even just a solid light gray color shadow or anything like that. There's a lot of different levels of different shades of gray packed under there that just really helps sell this depth that's achieved there. I mean, it is just incredible. And then that same little shadow is added up near here towards the top of the swoosh so that this element of it also looks raised too, and just all I can continue to say is wow to these. As we take a look at our black one here and we look near the front, I mean, just look at all of these different folds and creases within the bandana, how they all come together to a certain point here. I am just speechless when it comes to looking at these. I wouldn't even know how to go about starting to plan this and trying to visualize and think, you know, how would a bandana actually wrap and fold around a swoosh, something like this? This is just, I'm just speechless when it comes to these guys. There is absolutely nothing that I'm going to be able to find to critique about them. And just what I love is the simplicity of it, okay? An all white Air Force One, one of the most classic iconic shoes of all time. And then just playing up the different swooshes, the 4 different swooshes, outside, inside, red, blue, black, camo print. I love that all of these have the different ones. These are a classic pair, and man, oh man, you did your thing on these, Justin. Just phenomenal work, buddy. I'm just trying to somewhat visualize what the process for a pair like this might be, starting things off with a completely solid red, moving into some of the bandana print and the precision behind that. Just absolutely incredible of your whites and blacks, the line weights, the consistency. just a work of art. And then the shading, the darker reds, the lighter reds, the shadows, the highlights, just really selling all of these folds and creases. I just keep reiterating the same things, but it just can't be understated how realistic this really looks. I mean, I kid you guys not, this looks like a bandana is just wrapped and folded around a Nike swoosh. Just so cool to see. Wow, 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 wow. That's all I can continue to say when looking at these. This is a pair I could stare at for hours and just try to think of how you even achieve these, but just absolutely amazing work, Justin. Really a work of art. These are a true masterpiece, and this is one of the first times I've ever been on the verge of being speechless. Somebody who can talk a lot. There is damn near nothing that I can even think to say about these, so phenomenal work, buddy. Alright, thank you guys so much for joining us for episode 7 of Reviewing Your Customs. Make sure you go and check out, follow all of these incredible artists on Instagram. Go ahead, comment on their posts, let them know you saw them here on Reviewing Your Customs, and just take a look at this. This is so cool for me to see. This is so exciting to see all of these different artists and all of these different styles right in front of me that I have the opportunity to review them and critique them. We have cartoon work here while adding your own style. We have 10 different animal textures. We have some incredible realism of all of these different diamonds and jewels. And then this just masterpiece of this bandana work done by our buddy Justin. This is so cool to see, and this just can't help but get you excited about where custom sneakers has come and where it's going to continue to go. So phenomenal work by all of these artists. Thank you guys again for sending in your pairs to be reviewed by us. Again, we appreciate all of you guys tuning in for another episode of Reviewing Your Customs. If you haven't already, make sure you go ahead and give this video a like. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the page, and we'll see you guys in that next video.